Hello YouTube, this is Lewis Trans, aka Train5, aka Lewis JM. Now, to continue on with the whole Halloween upload stuff for October, I want to talk about a certain thing that's been bugging me as of late. See, recently there have been multiple live adaptations of comic books and graphic novels. And I'm not talking about Marvel and DC, I'm talking about the obscure ones, the ones that have a cult following, that have like a lot of fans reading their stuff. Whether it be Umbrella Academy, The Last Y, or even the most infamous one, The Walking Dead. Including the recent Sandman as well. Now, due to this, there is without a doubt more live adaptations of graphic novels are going to be in fluctuations in the coming years. And we might see certain ones that do have personal followings. There is, however, one graphic novel that I feel like that shouldn't need a live adaptation based on its content and let's just say disturbing imagery. It's called The Crossed, and it's mostly a comic book series depending on the number of comics that they got, including that from the original, its miniseries, and its sequels. Now, to me, I feel like that this graphic novel shouldn't get a live adaptation. And why is that? Well, let me explain. See, published in 2008, The Cross is somewhat of a post-apocalyptic world that takes place around that time frame, where there's a very bizarre pandemic that swept the entire planet by storm, and with no cure, no way to stop it. Now, it might sound familiar to that of a COVID thing, but that's not the case. See, what this mysterious virus does is give people these scar-like rash crosses on their faces, and when that happens, they turn into, I don't know how to explain this as much as I possibly can. Murderous, psychopathic, cannibalistic, necrophilic monsters. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Their minds completely shut off, leaving all morale and everything out the window, and the only things that are activated is their killer instinct, or their primitive nature, that leads them to killing people, eating people, and the other thing they do with people. I don't want to mention anything because I don't want to get myself flagged on YouTube for talking about these certain things. What makes this virus spread so easily isn't that of a bite like that of zombies. See, the disease is in the body itself, as in the fluids in the body are infected. So basically, and considering that humans are made out of mostly water, it can be spread through various means. Again, I don't want to explain it. I don't want to explain what the liquids or anything. It's just, it's hard to even explain. It's really hard to even explain. My sincerest apologies. To say that these crossed are zombies is taking it more likely, because they do have human traits, and they can use anything from vehicles to weapons. Plus, their pain receptors are shut off completely, so they not only inflict harm on others, they inflict harm on themselves, and they don't feel any pain. That's pretty much all the gist of it. And it's just going to... Now, before you even ask, yes, I did come in contact with this comic. It was a few years back in in one of those comic shops in New York City, and I saw that one of the graphic novels. I got a little intrigued and I looked into it, and whew, I immediately regretted looking into that crap. I mean, honestly, it's just so disturbing on so many levels. I mean, I don't want to be sending in links to show it to you. You might as well have to check for yourself, but still, man, that was the biggest regret I've made in my life. Now, getting back to the whole live adaptation thing, I feel like that this graphic novel shouldn't be having a live adaptation in any way. And even if that's the case, how is it going to be presented? Or is it going to be in a film format? Or is it going to be in like a multi-TV series? Because while getting a movie on the start of this graphic novel might be an interesting development, but then again, there are like multiple stories that took place in that universe, so series seem to be a better option. But regardless, I don't think it could be in either of these formats in any way due to its graphic nature. Also, who would be in charge of directing it to begin with? I'm pretty sure George A. Romero, who is the king of zombie flicks, don't want to be touching that. I don't think even the creators of the Walking Dead series shouldn't direct that due to how extreme the cross is compared to the zombies from their series. And I certainly understand that Rob Zombie shouldn't be thinking about doing that as well. And this is the guy that did the House of a Thousand Corpses franchises. And even if it comes out either in a movie, there's no doubt it's going to be rated NC-17, which is like the most adult-rated film stamp out there, and would join the rarest of movies, like say Showgirls. And even if it goes to a series, there's no telling who would be crazy enough to put it on their streaming services. Netflix, giving it's a popular streaming service that started it all, wouldn't want to have that thing on their horror genre sections. The other smaller streaming services like say Peacock or Paramount Plus wouldn't go anywhere near that. Even Hulu, who is pretty big on their horror stuff, including their miniseries, don't want to be going anywhere. Want to be greenlighting something like that into their streams. And believe me when I say this, and I don't think it's a possibility, the fact that Disney Plus won't be touching it at all, even though they were able to put all of their original Netflix Marvel shows on their streaming service, and of course did an episode of What If where all of the Marvel superheroes were zombies, and then they have an actual series that they're planning to come out with that said title. So, yeah, they won't go that far. To me, the closest streaming service that would do something like that would be Shudder. And that's like the one-stop shop of all things horror, being that light or heavy. But even doing that, they might have to do a terms section or a waiver stating that they're not responsible for the nightmare fuel that's going to be presented to your eyeballs. It just seems a little iffy. Bottom line, it's going to be... There's no way that the Crossed graphic novel would be getting a live adaptation. And even so, no one won't be touching it, no matter what. No matter who's the director, or what's the streaming service, or even which film company would do something like that. Besides, Blumhouse, giving its history of horror stuff, wouldn't touch that to begin with. Yeah. I'm surprised I forgot to mention about the studios. I mean, let's be honest. Warner Brothers, Paramount, Fox, any film company that does horror from time to time won't be touching that. Not even the Blumhouse or even George Peele's company would be touching that as well. So, yeah. Basically, Cross shouldn't be live adaptation, should stay in comic format, and would remain that way forever, is what I'm trying to say. Though I think a lot of people might be thinking about it differently. If you guys seem interested in having a Cross live adaptation in the near future, you could take a look. Leave me a comment below, and don't forget to leave me a like as well. As far as where I could take you, the link, I'm not gonna bring in links because I might get flagged. You might have to search it for yourself, and then after that, maybe get some brain bleach or drink a lot of alcohol to forget what you saw. Trust me, what I saw is just the tip of the iceberg. Ugh. So that's it for my personal thoughts on the Cross not going to get a live adaptation. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more videos. # where are the good cartoons?